Think about the undisciplined football, guys not knowing what they're doing, drawing up plays that doesn't work with the roster that they have. The quarterback is being ruined. I mean, you're basically building a case for getting rid of the guy immediately without really saying it. Now, the only reason he's going to stick around is because he's got a relationship with the general manager, and the owner is still in love with him for some reason because he doesn't really know what's going on in the game of football either. So that's why he's going to stay. Does he deserve to stay? No, not after that. Seriously, he does not after that. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse because unless there's something that I don't see or there's some miracle that goes on, I don't think they can beat anybody in the NFL. I really don't believe that they can. Because if you can't find a way to win that game last night, who are you beating and how? It's impossible. You can't beat anybody. You can't. You don't have the faculties, talent, roster, coaching acumen, anything. You don't have anything to beat anybody in the NFL. And it's happened, the last couple of years. You've seen an 0-16 team here or there, of course, with the Detroit Lions. You've seen the Dolphins get off to a miserable start and actually figure it out. So you've seen other teams do it, but I don't see it with the Jets.
Somewhere along the line, some team will just not have their A game and then still beat the Jets, like the Broncos did last night, who are the other worst team in football. Right?
Yeah,
okay, yes, but I just think somewhere along the line they'll end up winning a game that you didn't expect them to win. I don't know against who, maybe one of the Dolphin games. I don't know. Who knows? But all I know is, again, like we sat here yesterday, we're talking about, okay, what does it look like and how do they lose? How do they lose if they lose? And I was like, they're not losing tonight. They're not losing tonight, and nor should they be losing tonight.
Yeah.
And we come here this morning, and the way that they lost was the undisciplined nature of the football team, which is a reflection, unfortunately, on the coaches. It is 100% on Greg Williams, and it's 100% on Adam Gase. I mean, they're actually co-head coaches anyway. You know that. I mean, I don't even know if Adam even talks to the team or talks to the defense, for God's sake. I mean, it's ridiculous. Then, you have to stand up there after the game. And, I mean, there is nothing worse than having to stand up in front of the media. I remember towards the end of some of those games, I'd be like, oh, God, I got to face, another team, and that team is the media. And you want to try to be honest. You want to say the right thing. You don't want to, like, in any way, shape, or form, throw your teammates or your coach or your organization under the bus. And that's why you hear, the comments that you hear, and we can be sarcastic in our response to them. But there's really not much you can say. Really. There isn't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's expecting anything from these players any longer. The only thing that I brought up earlier about what they were saying is I sort of believe them in saying that, all right, we got to pick ourselves up. We got to play hard. And they came out with a little bit of edge last night. But that's just going to fizzle. It's going to fizzle throughout the season because they're
human nature.
Yeah, it just is, and they're going to collapse in the middle. And this is why I think they're going to go 0-16, because even if they get off to a good start at some point, they're not going to know how to handle it. They'll eventually crumble. They'll do something stupid. They won't go for it on fourth down. They will go for it on fourth down. They'll take a big sack. They'll miss a field goal. Whatever it is, it's just terrible teams. They're terrible for a reason, and they find ways to lose. The Jets are going to be that team. I mean, it's if anything, it'll be sort of fun to see if they can get to 0-16, if they can be that bad. Like, that's the only thing it'll almost be fun to watch, to see how they lose every single game on their schedule, because there's nothing else interesting about them anymore. Their quarterback isn't even interesting anymore. He's not.